Thank you for joining, sharing, liking, and subscribing to my channel. Namaste, angels. Sagittarius, this is your bi-weekly reading for the period of Monday, October 7th through Sunday, October 20th. And I think your reading's all about Ascension. That's what I'm getting so far. We'll go through the cards together and see what else is there. But that's what I see so far. Growth, moving to the next phase. And that will be in your relationships too. So some of you on your own, just spiritual expansion and growth, maybe courtesy of your ruler, Jupiter, the planet and god of growth and expansion. And for some in partnership, you're doing that. You're moving on with somebody and like deepening the connection. Doesn't have to be, romantic, but in this position of your love and romance is the Four of Wands upright. So it can't get much more romantic than that, obviously. And more about commitment. So let's get into it. I decided to give you guys, or everybody, all 12 zodiac signs, more oracle cards this time because I wasn't having to do an intro. I'm like, I can get straight into it. I can give them more cards. And I don't know what I did wrong, but the readings got longer. I don't think that's going to happen with yours. We're going to get to, I'm not going to rush through it, but I think it's going to be a lot closer to the time that we wanted to do these in, 15, 20 minutes. So let's get started. Of these oracle cards, so I just want to show you what these overall energies are to give you some additional messages. The first one is God as your source. Everything you need is supplied by the infinite source of God, and your faith opens the doorway to receive. In God, there is no lack or limitation. Rather, there is plenty of abundance for all to share. And for those who don't necessarily believe in God, I otherwise refer to it as the universe. But whatever that larger source is, and I presume that all of us who are spiritual and believe in frequencies understand and believe that there are frequencies and larger than our own, for sure. As human beings or humanoids, some of us are not completely human, if at all. And there are entities that are larger than us, and ultimately a source from which we all come. So that's what we're talking about here. And it's, it's manifestation. It's the law of attraction. It's the law of karma, which your planet, your ruler also rules. The karma, luck. And this is part of the growth and the spiritual clarity into which you're coming, like understanding how to use positive energy in order to attract what it is you want and need in your life. Oh, on that note, I hadn't even looked over here to see what other cards up behind it were also upright. But on that note, speaking positivity over your life toward what you want to attract and bring into it, words of abundance. Okay, that's what's going to do it for you. You have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Well, there goes an orb. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in a loving and optimistic terms. And that is what you will attract for yourself and others. But although they're mentioning for yourself and others, pay yourself first. Make yourself the most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you're paid. This loving form of self-care ensures that you'll have some savings to invest in your present and your future. The angel therapy deck, overall energy for you is vegetarian, vegan. I really don't know why it's called this, and it kind of irritates me because the message here is far more important. Fresh, organic fruits and vegetables give you a boost of high life force energy, which elevates your spiritual frequency. Yes, organic food does. Using organic goods does. That doesn't necessarily equate to vegan or vegetarian. And, you can be a vegetarian or a vegan if you want to, but being one doesn't necessarily mean you're going to increase your frequency, because both have the potential to involve a lot of GMOs and processed foods and things. So you really want to go for organic and or whole as often as you are able. Sometimes it can get kind of pricey, and that's understood. But also whatever you can make at home or use at home or make by hand, even your own soap and stuff, if you're able to do that. The more whole, the more organic, the better off you're going to be. And the more it does go toward helping your frequency, because your energy is clear, right? There's nothing funking up the works. Stuff like, for example, fluoride, right? It's pretty common knowledge that fluoride is used to, keep us asleep, to calcify our third eye. People know that. There are other chemicals in our foods and the goods that we use that do similar things. So as whole and organic as your goods and foods are, the more whole and organic they are, the less there will be a chance for you to be affected by these, carcinogens, basically. The other card, all right. I just saw something else. So the other card, speaking of ascension, is integrity. And speaking of ascension and speaking words and of positivity and things over your life, the truth will set you free. And the truth is very important. Maintaining your integrity certainly goes toward increasing your vibration. Align your actions so that they match your values and your inner knowingness of what's right for you. And also speaking of your relationships, ascending as well, twin flame also upright here. The answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationship. Now, the thing about ascending, other people, other energies around us will try to keep you down. Larger forces, again, will try to keep you asleep. They don't want the masses awake. They don't want the matrix disturbed. So they will try to take you down, will try to block you. It can happen on a small scale in our, private, personal situations, in our homes, with our friends, somebody you've been friends with for years. All of a sudden, they're a Judas. They're out to get you. Why? They're jealous of your ascension, right? Of your growth, your spiritual growth. So, 9 of fire. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. This is about you persevering and standing up against any and everything that comes against you. You are a warrior. This is your warrior spirit, and it will defend you. You will persevere. You will make it. I love this girl's face and the look on her face. She's not playing around. She's not taking any crap. And the romance angels. Past life relationship. You have known each other before, and I understand not everybody is going to feel that they are on some sort of spiritual romantic journey necessarily involving soulmates or divine unions or twin flames. But for those who do feel that, or at least that's a possibility for them, that may be another place where this past life relationship is coming in. All right. Those relationships that I just described and mentioned begin at the soul level. They start before we're even incarnated. We come to some sort of agreement, a soul contract, as to some of the things we're going to do down here, and some of the relationships we're going to have, some of the lessons we're going to learn, and for what purpose. And so now we're experiencing those things. And so past life relationships do sort of converge upon our present life relationships. The Universal Love Oracle, creativity. This card has your energy. Look at this red-winged or red-bodied angel, right? She's all fiery. May very well be a Sagittarius like yourself, like Cupid. But also, not just fire energy coming from this card, but water. A lot of Pisces in particular, with these translucent fish jumping out of the water with the moon behind her. The moon in the tower represents the sign of Pisces. And then there's some air with these white puffs of clouds, and the star, very strategically placed it over her third eye, and the third eye, as well as the other communication centers, the throat chakra, and the crown chakra, are all connected to air signs. And the star in the tower represents the sign of Aquarius specifically. So those Pisces and by name coming through very specifically, but air, water, fire. certainly fire your own energy. And lastly, from what I call my hashtag creepy deck, Dark Male, who for me represents the divine masculine in this deck. When I picked him up, behind him also upright is Triangle. Now, for some of us, this may indeed represent some sort of love triangle. For others, I think this is a conflict at work. I mean, it can be a conflict in any area of your life, but I'm getting work. And there's actually other cards here that might support that as well. And this one, money, may support it additionally. Further to that, this card money tends to represent earth signs for me, and most specifically Capricorn, the workhorse of the zodiac. Your overall energy here from the tarot is the 10 of Cups. So being emotionally fulfilled, surrounded by love, family, friends, positive relationships. That's your overall energy, which is a beautiful one. So in this placement, representing yourself, is Judgment. Major Arcana card, Judgment in reverse. And Judgment in reverse can be about pretty much what judgment is about, like being overly judgmental of yourself, of others around you, and like quick to judgment, rushing to judgment, not being sure about something, but coming to a conclusion, which the moon can also be about too. So you want to be careful about that. The moon represents or indicates the potential for illusion, right? For what we're seeing, what we think we're seeing, to not really be reality. So we don't want to jump to conclusions or rush to judgment about anyone or anything, because that has long-term effects. Sometimes stuff that you can't undo. Things are said that you can't take back. So be very careful about that. But Judgment in reverse also can be about what I said in terms of spiritual awakening and growth. And I think that that's what it means for a lot of you here, maybe the majority of you watching this reading. You are newly awakened and or awakening or growing and ready for the next phase, sort of to pass through that imaginary invisible gateway that we all like when we feel like we take a next step and we transition to the next phase. That's where you are. For the surrounding energy surrounding you, the 5 of Wands in reverse, this can be like indirectly your energy or energy that's affecting you indirectly. It can be your friends, I'd say your closer friends, family members, people that you work with, so people that are, sort of in your life all the time. And it is in reverse as well. The 5 of Wands in reverse points to conflict. And for me, the 5 of Wands, more so than, let's say, like the 5 of Swords, for example, if it's not about being conflicted as in internally, then it tends to be with close friends and or family or at work. And that would kind of make sense. Talking about work, your Major Arcana card, the moon, represents your work here. And like I was saying about the moon, well, first of all, the moon represents the sign of Pisces. So we have Piscean energy showing up with this creativity card, as I mentioned a moment ago. And we have Pisces showing up here. So I don't know if there's an actual Pisces involved, or maybe a water sign in general involved. Major Arcana card, Judgment, I didn't mention, represents for me the sign of Scorpio, the planet Pluto. The moon in your position of work means that, yeah, you may not know what's going on. You may feel uneasy at work, not know what's going on. You need clarity. You're not sure what your position is or how people are feeling about you. Again, I'm going to suggest that you don't rush to judgment, that you give people the benefit of the doubt, even if you do feel that you're amid some sort of conflict. Try to allow this energy to pass before, you address the situation. Either allow the energy to pass or, actually look into it where you're getting some concrete information and you can make, a fair and real assessment that doesn't compromise your integrity. Right? Because just going off half-cocked without the information will compromise your integrity. So you don't want to do that. Let's be careful especially since it's our job. And I'm feeling that the person, if you do have conflict at work, and this is representing it too, maybe again the money card in this triangle, you do have conflict at work. I'm feeling that it could be like a superior, right? Your supervisor or your boss or something with whom you have the conflicts. The conflicts. You definitely want to give them the benefit of the doubt and not go off. When the moon shows up, there's a potential to just go off. And of course, that would not be good at work. Okay, then let the energy pass or get the information. My first suggestion is to let the energy pass. Love. Oh wait, I didn't do really finances. I did work, right? So for finances, it's going to be similar. Don't make any decisions of anything, financially, unless it's based on something concrete. Like it's not a good time to be risky when the moon is representing your finances. Also, if you've been waiting on some sort of judgment, some sort of decision in the area of your finances, the moon showing up in this placement can show that it may take a little while longer before you get that decision. And maybe the person that has to make the decision is conflicted. Maybe there is something going on where the information isn't completely compiled. A judgment, a decision hasn't been made, can't be made because the information is incomplete. And so you're going to be waiting a little bit while longer for that decision. Again, don't panic, don't rush to judgment, don't go to the negative thought like, oh, I haven't heard from them because the answer is no. I mean, just try to ride the energy out. Lastly, for your love and romance, the Four of Wands. Well, the Four of Wands is all about joy, contentment, happiness, maybe cohabitation, deepening of commitments, maybe even marriage. So this is Ascension in your love life. People could be getting engaged. People could be actually having weddings over the next period, this next 2 weeks. Some of you Sagittarians maybe actually getting married or getting engaged or, moving in with somebody, deepening your relationship, deciding to enter a commitment, or you could be meeting somebody at somebody else's event, still maybe a wedding or something. If you're single and you're looking for love, the Four of Wands showing up upright is a very positive omen for you. And if you're out there, you're going to be found, and you may even have multiple choices as to who to pick, but I have a feeling somebody is going to be particularly special and maybe even a soulmate connection, something soul level. Further to that, for the masculine, I do have the advice separated by archetype. It is not, gender specific or sexual. It has nothing to do with gender or sexuality. It's specifically archetype. If you feel that you resonate with all of it and you want to take masculine and feminine, because we all do have an inner masculine and feminine. We're all androgynous at the soul level. So if you feel you want to take it all, take it all. If you feel like most or many that you are more heavily masculine or more heavily feminine, then you may identify with either one of these archetypes, these piles. So for the masculine, open relationship. And for me, this card is all about like living and loving out loud, out in the open, however you want, Again, maybe it is a same-sex thing. I said it's not gender specific, but maybe it is something like that. That's how that's non-traditional. Or maybe it's what they call a May-December relationship. That's non-traditional. One is older, one is younger, especially when the woman is older. It's like a whole big deal. Or different races, different religions, all of the above. A carnivore and a vegan. Whatever you're into. Okay, it's like out loud, out in the open. Who cares? Anybody that has something to say about it can, go fly a kite. For the feminine, destiny. So like I said, I feel ascension. I feel spiritual awakening. I feel spiritual growth. I feel spiritually based relationships. So all of that would be connected to destiny and fulfilling those soul contracts that I talked about earlier. From the abundance oracle to the masculine, declutter. This will help you to ascend too, actually. You'll feel better and more focused if you take the time to clear away clutter from your living and workspace. Donate what you can to help others who may need the items. And be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. I say just keep your life as uncluttered as you can in general. Abundance oracle to the feminine. Visualize abundance in all forms. God gave you such a great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, positive, and filled with blessings, and that is what you will experience. Masculine crystals. The energy of crystals supports you and helps you with your present situation. Certainly can help with ascension. You can start out with something if you haven't used crystals before, you don't know anything about them. You want to start out with something basic, that is fine. Many of us, our first crystals will be like quartz, clear quartz. If you want it for love and romance, you're trying to go after this Four of Wands energy, then maybe you pick up a pink one, a rose quartz. People like black tourmaline. I'm a fan of carnelian. I'm wearing some right now. I have some on my table. This is carnelian. I'm also a fan of obsidian. This is rainbow obsidian that was naturally growing the striations in the shape of a heart. So they went ahead and cut it in the shape of a heart. Rainbow obsidian. This, when we start getting more stuff, is also rainbow obsidian with more colors. It's a combination of rainbow and snow obsidian. This is not like whiteout that I spilled on it. This is natural inside the stone, these white specks. It's called snow obsidian. So yeah, there's all kinds of different crystals that you guys can look into that will help you with your spiritual growth and healing in other areas too. Feminine, you got another past life issue card. You had one here and you got one here. This situation has a basis in one of your previous lifetimes. Ask your angels to help you to remember, release, learn, and heal from your past experiences. Yeah, I just very much feel like that's what you guys in general, Sagittarius, masculine and feminine, are going to be going through over the next couple weeks. And it's going to be a jackpot. This is your energy too, like in a major way, because it's major arcana. But major arcana card 10, the wheel, represents the planet Jupiter. That's your ruler. So therefore, your sign, the sign of Sagittarius. It's a time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. If you felt stuck in an area, maybe in this area of your vibration, you just felt like you weren't growing, you weren't coming into any clarity, you don't understand how to use any of your gifts, you're not even sure if you have any gifts, all of a sudden that turns around. Or something turns around for you. Maybe your finances were stuck. Those are turning around. You know, your relationships, your friends, your family, your romantic situation. Something is turning around very strongly, very quickly, and it's because of your ruler and your own energy behind it. This Sagittarian energy, very fiery and passionate. It's a time of positive change. The situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side. The wheel also connected, and Jupiter as well, also connected to the fixed signs, and that is Aquarius, which I mentioned before with the star, Taurus, which could be representative of that money card, the earth energy that was showing up here, Scorpio, judgment, and lastly Leo, which is a fellow fire sign to yourself. So we definitely have our share of fire energies here on the table, beginning with this first one where you're going to persevere. The 9 of fire. From the angel tarot to the feminine, the 4 of water. Missing an opportunity, discontentment or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. This energy, I feel, shows up when we're not expecting anything good. We're not expecting growth. We don't think anything good is going to come our way. So we're kind of like not looking for it to, and then we miss things that do. So I'm telling you in advance that positive energy is coming your way over the next 2 weeks, that growth will be upon you over the next 2 weeks, so that you can pay attention and check out any opportunities that come your way. Even if you think, oh, I don't know, this doesn't look like anything, peek in, look in the box before you decide. Don't rush to judgment. Don't rush to judgment. From the romance angels to the masculine, express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. That might be tied into the integrity and other air energies that we saw show up, the Aquarian energy, right? Communication. Feminine, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Only red flag I really see here is this 9 of fire that says don't give up. So that's your major message in terms of the big red flag that's trying to get your attention. And lastly, this is perfect. Gateway. So it's all about that next phase that I was talking about, the transition that you're about to make. You have arrived. You have arrived. Go ahead and walk through. And lastly, for the feminine, there's the Aquarius energy again. There's the earth energy again. And there is the water energy again. So I don't know what you guys are into. If this has something to do with a person in your life, if this is maybe representative of your own energy, something that you're going through, inner child, maybe something coming up from your past, or maybe you're like your rising sign, your moon, it's earth, it's water, all of the above, something that you're wanting to say, something that you're wanting to get off your chest with all these stars showing up. Or maybe you're the one who's awaiting information. You're the one who's awaiting a decision. Again, you're going to want to exercise patience if you are the one awaiting a decision. And if you're the one that has something to say, speak with integrity. Say what you mean what you say, be clear about it. You're not a child anymore. You're grown now. But this card pretty much directly for me represents the signs of Aquarius again, with these stars located very strategically over the communication centers, the crown chakra, the third eye chakra, the throat chakra. Also water with all this blue. Other air signs, Gemini, Libra, with all these clouds, and all the green around, that is, the earth energy, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus again. So maybe one of those is involved. I hope that you guys have enjoyed your bi-weekly reading. I'll be back for you again in 2 weeks. Be sure to watch your rising and moon signs and check out the details in the box if you want to get, your own private reading on your own life and or relationships, energy healing, cool merchandise. I'm partnered with, some really good artists that have come up with some nice designs for mugs and tapestries and comforters and bed sheets and shirts and all kinds of fun stuff. So check it out. Namaste.